Well, we're back right here live in the studio. If you're just tuning in, you're watching Hela Kuwait right here on KTV2, the family channel. And I hope everyone out there is having a very nice evening, wherever you may be tuning in tonight. Our interview segment, we have with us right now طارق الدعيج. And طارق is a volunteer with the Kuwait dive team of the Voluntary Environmental Foundation. طارق, welcome to Hela Kuwait.
Thank you. Hello.
Nice to have you with us
Thank you for
right
having me
here
on the
program. And maybe you could give our audience a little introduction, طارق, about the Kuwait dive team, when it was formed, a little bit about the goals and objectives of what you do, please.
Sure. The Kuwait dive team has been around since the mid-80s in one form or the other. And it was established by a number of Kuwaiti divers who cared about the marine environment and who loved the activity of diving, and they thought they'd get together and established a group, a team, and they've been active ever since in not only just diving but also in trying to contribute to the community. At first their work was helping in removing any boats, any damaged boats or from some of the marinas. They became very busy after the liberation of Kuwait in 1991, where there were several boats that were wrecked and damaged in the ports and marinas, and they helped in removing them.
So they've been around quite a long time, almost 30 years or so, huh?
Yes, they have. They have.
Doing some fine work. I know Kuwait Dive Team very popular with the work that they do. They're all around the YouTube, social media. They've done fine work over the, not years, even decades.
Sure.
And yourself, Tariq, more importantly, how and when did you join them? Tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you I know you're very enthusiastic about taking care of the environment. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Right. I'm not actually an environmentalist. I'm probably one of the newest members of the team, and it all happened by chance. I happened to
Tell us, how did that happen?
A couple of years ago, I happened to be walking along one of the beaches in the Kuwait city, actually on the sand. Before on the waterfront, I'd stay, by the pavement, biking or running. But I decided to have a walk along the beach, and I was shocked to see the condition of the beach. It was as if 100 people just had a picnic and left and
left everything there.
Left everything behind and disappeared. I didn't know what I could do about it. Yeah. Coincidentally, maybe a week later, I saw a notice on Instagram that there was a beach cleanup operation at the Kuwait Towers. So I went along. They said volunteers are welcomed. I went along, and it happened to be organized by the Kuwait dive team. I met them at that time. I took part in the operation. And they said, if you have the time, please join us and help us out with some of their campaigns. And at first, I was helping them with the school campaign.
Yeah, I mean, there's many different campaigns, activities. Tariq, what are we taking a look at here on the monitor, please?
This was a cleanup operation in the close to the Kuwait Towers, and this
a lot of debris, rubbish there.
This operation is in Asharij. That was actually a 15-year operation. This year we're probably at the closing stages. It's a neglected beach. There were many illegal warehouses, illegal landfills that were there, abandoned boats, shipwrecks, and over the 15-year period we must have removed about 80 boats and tons of waste from that particular area.
Yeah, so much, unfortunately, waste that we're, seeing there. I mean, look at that. That must be over 15 years. Tons and tons, huh?
Yeah, and it is not just waste that people are there and just throwing it.
Yeah.
It is not a beach that is frequented by people. It is from the warehouses and the factories, but also from waste that's dumped in the sea and is washed ashore with the tides.
This an aerial shot there, I believe, Tariq, of also some of the very bad conditions there, and we're taking a look at a pan there too. Tell us what we're taking a look at, Tariq.
This is also in Asharij, and this is one of the operations We were assisted by members of the cleaning team from the Kuwait municipality. They send about 30, 40 of their staff. They send their heavy trucks and their bulldozers because there's a lot of heavy waste.
So you have collaboration with them?
Yes, thankfully we do. They help us a lot in our heavy operations. This is not for where we ask volunteers to come. The only volunteers are probably ourselves from the Kuwait dive team. There'd be 2 or 3 of us supervising, but the actual lifting of all the heavy stuff that's left on the beach, tires, fishing nets, anchors sometimes, and the damaged boats that are falling apart, it is done by their staff with their heavy equipment.
طارق, you were telling me before we took a look at some of the footage there, there's a schools program that you do. Tell us about that, please, طارق.
Yes, the Kuwait dive team has been involved with schools for several years now, and at the beginning it was visiting schools, giving presentations to the students, teaching them about the environment, about the dangers of leaving their waste behind, how to look after the marine environment. 2 years ago, the program expanded. We started to organize cleanups rather from once or twice a year to now during the school year, weather permitting. So we do about 15, 16 cleanups during the school year, starting from maybe October until March, if the weather is okay. This year, we've probably received over 1,500 students coming from 80 schools, over 16 operations. And the idea is to spread awareness. We tend to concentrate on primary school children because they enjoy it most and they learn the most. We receive them Tuesday morning. We give them breakfast. We give them a presentation, which is both educational and a lot of fun. And then we take them to the beach and they start removing the waste themselves with our help. And it's become a very successful campaign. We find that schools are actually calling us to come and take part in it.
Yeah, and here, what are we taking a look at here, طارق, now?
This is also in Asharij.
Yes.
As I said, this was an ongoing operation for about 15 years. There with the help of the Kuwait municipality workers, removing the tons of trash that's there.
And what is this, like a pipe going out? What is that there in the water? From the boat there?
Ah, yes. This was in Khiran. They were removing some pipes, some old pipes that were damaged.
But so beautiful water there, coral reefs.
Yes, yes.
Very nice visibility.
Yeah, the divers were there to remove that pipe earlier this year in Khiran.
What, it was just a pipe that was dumped there?
I think it was just damaged and had to be removed, so they called us to help them out.
Well, I'm glad you were there to help out the Kuwait dives. You know, it's a huge pipe. As we take a look at the team members there, trying to like fasten things there, just get it fastened in order to pull it on the boat.
And then it's tugged on shore. Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a long pipe there, and some beautiful footage there also. I have to say the Kuwait dive team have a lot of members who are specialized in different venues and different activities as part of them, and bring us some very good footage there to show us. And now the schools program, Tariq, is can schools come out on Tuesday, or it has to be organized, and can they contact you to private schools also can come to?
Yes, government
Things
schools.
can be done in English too?
Sure,
for there?
Government schools and private schools. Yes, we've had some English language schools come to us, where some of our English colleagues give the presentations. They just contact us, and we are available to.
So people can just Google the information and I think find out about your social media, phone numbers, and everything.
Sure,
huh?
sure, yeah. Kuwait Dive Team on Google, on Instagram, on Facebook, and they find the numbers and who to contact. The government schools, through their various educational departments, they contact us to arrange which school is to come on which particular Tuesday. So we give them a schedule, and the schools decide when they would like to come, if there is space for them or not.
Okay, so a lot of great activities done by the Kuwait dive team some light, heavy operations and so forth. So tell us more about that, طارق.
Sure. So we split our beach cleaning operations into two types. There is the light operations, which involves the schools and sometimes adult volunteers. We'd find locals of a particular area want to clean up their beach, and they contact us, and we send our mobile van, mobile unit, which gives them the equipment, the gloves, etc. And also, as I said, the schools part of the light programs. The heavy programs involve the Kuwait municipality cleaning staff. And we've done several operations with them this year. We took the municipality's island unit to Nemel Island, which is supposed to be a reserve, but unfortunately the amount of trash that we saw there is staggering, and it's not inhabited. There are no people there, so the trash must be coming in from the sea, boaters dumping their waste there. Over 3 operations, we must have collected maybe 800 garbage bags.
That's a lot.
It is. And then we went to Sulebikhat Beach. It's about a 6-kilometer stretch of beach, and it is not the usual waste that we see in the city of, plastic bottles and papers and wrappers. In addition to that, in Sulebikhat there are large amounts of contractor waste, building materials, bricks, concrete slabs, huge tires, used furniture, people just dumping their stuff there, and it must have been going on for years because some of it is just looks really old. With the Kuwait municipality, unfortunately, that kind of heavy waste, we cannot remove them. It needs specialist work, but we were able to clear at least 250, 300 bags a day from the Sulebikhat area.
طارق, we're taking a look at some more video here. What are we taking a look at?
Those are some fish farms that were also removed in the Kuwait Bay area.
So these were not supposed to be there, huh?
Not supposed to be there, and the Kuwait dive team assisted in removing them, bringing them onshore with the help of the municipality as well. Those bulldozers, they're not ours, they're from the Kuwait municipality team, and they helped us in clearing them from Kuwait Bay.
So a lot of things that should not be taking place are taking place around our sea environment here in Kuwait, طارق, huh?
Exactly. And
very unfortunate. What is this now here?
This is where the school's campaign begins. So the students come in, we give them a presentation, as I said. It is educational, it is fun, they participate, they have questions and answers, they learn about the beauty of our environment and the dangers of leaving their waste behind, and they appreciate the experience after they go to the beach and they do their cleanups.
Yes, I'm sure they are enlightened about how important our environment is.
Yes, and some of them are visibly upset when they see the condition of the beach, that they ask, why is this like that? Why are people throwing their stuff around?
Yeah, it is. It's very sad. Even myself, to see that footage now, it's unfortunate. I mean, people may be saying these are not Kuwaitis who are doing this, but this is not true.
No, it is not true.
It's everyone in Kuwait is, to blame for this.
Exactly. Everyone.
You can't really blame certain people or not.
No, those people who say it is not Kuwaitis, all they need to do is go have a look at the desert.
That's just not true at all.
Yeah, it's only Kuwaitis who go to the desert, and our desert, unfortunately, is not in a good condition.
That's a whole nother story. We could talk another hour about that.
Exactly.
The things that are left there after camping season is just horrendous to see that.
Sure, but in our beaches, it's all people who go to the beach. Some of them take care of it, whether they're locals or not, and some of them don't, whether they're locals or not.
And here we're taking a look at the schools program, correct?
Yes.
It's like one of the girls' schools, the cleaning the beaches, correct?
Yeah, this beach is in the Sharg area, close to Souk Sharg, and there's a nice little restaurant that we use in the morning. They allow us to use it for the presentation.
That's nice.
And then we go down the beach and pick up the waste. This is in Nemel Island, that footage, the island I mentioned earlier. We took the municipality with us earlier this year because while they have an islands unit, it is very tricky to get to that island. So we had like a logistics and recon trip in the beginning, just to help them properly navigate their way to the island. The tides are very tricky there. In extremely low tides, you can drive to the island from Doha area.
Okay.
So
you've got to be careful.
You have to know exactly when to go, which is the appropriate tide, and how long you can stay there. You can't spend more than 2 hours once you reach there. And 2 hours, you need to do a lot of work to clear up a lot of rubbish at that time.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a lot of work to be done. And you know, what's the problem, طارق, of your time? What do you see? Why are people doing this? We don't have maybe enough laws here. They're not enforced, or what's going on exactly?
We are trying to change people's behavior. The laws are there. There is a new environmental law of 2014, and I think people who care about the environment are very happy to see that law in place. Enforcement needs to be stronger. I think it's still a new law, and we are waiting for it to be properly enforced, because while with the children we can educate them, we can spread awareness, but with the adults, awareness is important, but to correct people's behavior, unfortunately, sometimes you have to hit them in their pocket. So when there are fines, and this new law, there are fines of throwing waste, killing wildlife. There are fines for all those sorts of activities. And once people get hit in their pockets, they will start to behave themselves. They will start to behave themselves. And at the same time, you know, there are garbage cans, receptacles in the parking lots of all those beaches that we see that are trashed. So it just needs a little bit more effort from people to remove their waste with them. As for the people who dump their waste in the sea, again, it is difficult to police that. So many boats and the Coast Guard or the other agencies, you know, they help their best, yeah. But there's so much of it. Kuwait has 500 kilometers worth of beaches,
well, we just
coastline.
Hope the people take better care of the environment, and people like yourself and the other members of the Kuwait dive team doing such a fine work. Unfortunately, our time has come to an end. Tariq, we'd like to thank you for joining us right here on Hello Kuwait, and wish you and the members of the Kuwait dive team all the best.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you for joining us.